Yo, I'm back with another Science Adventure series video, and it's not Chaos Child because I still haven't finished the game after 2 months, but it is Occultic 9, which I had no idea existed, and this is kind of a filler video until I finish Chaos Child. I came into Occultic 9 expecting the worst. I mean, people on Mal really hate this, and I was thinking it was just another Chaos Head situation. Speaking of Chaos Head, go watch my video on it if you're interested. But what I actually got with Occultic 9 was a good story, really nice looking, unique art, and a banging soundtrack. So where did it all go wrong? I searched the internet for an answer to this question, and after many hours I now know why the score is so low. Because people are too goddamn stupid to understand a story when it's not like, oh, I'm a magical girl, I know is that a witch, let me use my magical girl powers to fight it. Oh yeah, we killed it, oh I was mean to you but now I'm not. This story is so deep and it's still a masterpiece in my opinion. I went on a bit of a tangent there. Like I was saying, most of the people giving this anime low scores and saying how bad it is are the same people who can't give something their full attention and actually use their head to figure out a story. But if you're not one of them, this shit slaps. There is no such thing as a cult. It can be disproved all by science. Only the ones who have accepted everything can get the right to know the truth. Occultic 9 is about the self-proclaimed NEET and high school student Gamon Yuta. Gamon runs the blog Kiri Kiri Basari, focused around news and stories related to the occult. He runs it with the girl with the huge boobs, named Yotas or something, I don't really care, but just look at those things. There's big and then there's that. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, his site gets the attention of a fortune teller named Miyu Aikwa, who unknowingly goes to the same school as Gamotan, and the two end up meeting. Miyu, or Mew Pomish, is quickly given the nickname of, joins the crew as a fortune teller for Kiri Kiri Basari. The episode cuts to a young girl who sells her services as a black magic agent to put curses on people, in exchange for the cursed target's hair and as much information about them as you can. Gamotan is sent out to interview Professor Hashigami, the founder of the Society of Psychical Research. And during the episode we are introduced to Hashigami's son, who has lost all respect for his father due to his involvement with the cult. When Gamotan arrives at Hashigami's lab at night, he finds the professor dead. The professor left a dying message in blood being CODE on the floor, and as Gamotan sees this, a voice comes from his radio telling him to pull out a specific tooth from the professor. When pulled out, it's revealed that the tooth is a key, and now we are left with many questions. Who killed the professor? Why was his hair ripped out? What's the significance of code? What is this key? And who is speaking on the radio? And this is all just in the first episode, and I didn't even include like 3 other characters' introductions. As far as I'm concerned, that's a shit ton of information just dumped on you at once. But if you have that Sigma mindset, that should be no problem to process. But if you don't, you can go watch Magica or something. But aside from those questions that we are left to ask ourselves, the anime drops a huge bombshell that all of the characters that we have seen thus far are dead, and with the limited time that they have, they need to go back in time to when they were still alive, which isn't an easy feat, especially with the many threats along the way. I'm not going to say how they go back in time or anything, but there's a good chunk of the story that involves following a detective who has linked the killings to a boys love doujin. And usually I would hate this sort of thing, because I tried out both Bungo Stray Dogs and Hamatora, and couldn't get into either one. But when it has a more realistic take that involves brainwashing and other sciencey elements, I feel a lot more engaged, although I didn't really watch Bungo Stray Dogs long enough to know exactly what it's about. But I digress. As for the characters, they're all special in their own way, and with the limited time they had for character development, most characters got treated well, whereas others were completely forgotten and had very little to no backstory or anything. Especially the Doujin lady. And I can't not mention a scene in one of the backstories where it's revealed that the black magic girl was living with her dead brother for well over a year, and the use of sound effects here was so perfect because the viewers were shown that the body is completely fine, but once it gets pushed to the ground we hear a very fleshy sound until we get a surprise appearance from Shogun, and it's revealed his body is rotten and disfigured. Shogun's from Chaos Head, go watch my Chaos Head video. Please. And this art, I could go on about this art forever. I just love the way it looks, and the many different uses of camera angles always spice things up, and gives this anime its own character. They even got a camera angle where it's looking from a wall or something, then this big ass spider just crawls onto frame and sits there for a bit. What other anime does that? And no, that's not an invitation to put big ass spiders on the camera, so to say. And the animation is so fluid too, you can see the characters' weird personalities shine through the way they move. And the use of lighting and shadows to create dark and creepy environments where it felt as though I could get jump scared at any moment, which I've never felt while watching anime. And the soundtrack is simply amazing, as composed by Yokoyama Masaru, who was in charge of Your Lie in April. So to sum it all up, I guess you can't trust Mal for an accurate score, as this anime is such an enjoyable watch and I could easily watch it again and it would be better the second time. And I don't rewatch things, so that's a big compliment. The pacing of the series definitely could have used an extra episode because I found myself having to pause and go back in later episodes quite a lot to properly understand what I was watching, but I didn't mind too much. So yeah, go check it out and stick with it, as the first episode is very overwhelming, but it slows down a bit until the final episode where it goes crazy again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, it is appreciated, and also subscribe if you want to see more. That's all, Nanashi signing out.